If you get to know her, then she will be setting you impossible standards and you will have to drop her in self-defense. If you want to imitate her in all that she does, naturally when you get to know her more, you will want to be like her, you will want to have the same color schemes for our house, and so we will not be able to live up to their standards. We will not be able to keep everything the way that they are keeping. If you get to know her, then she will be setting you impossible standards and you will have to drop her in self-defense. You will not be able to continue the friendship, because if you are so much appreciated her, if you so much admire her and the things that she does, you will want the same things to be done in our house, and that is impossible. Her kitchen was so clean, you just couldn't believe she ever used it. The kitchen was spotless, absolutely clean, and it appeared as if it was not a used kitchen. Nobody is cooking in that. It was so clean. I asked her for a drink of water and she held the glass underneath the tap and poured slowly so that not one drop fell in the sink itself. It was an affectation. Affectation is given designed to impress. She naturally did everything this way. So Mrs. Wright asked Mrs. Sacro for a glass of water, and when she held the glass under the tap, she was so careful to see that not a drop of water spilled into the sink. And she did not do this in order to impress Lillian, but it was the way that she does things. She was very meticulous. She was very careful about small details. Very perfect. She wanted to do everything in a perfect way. She did it so casually that I just knew she always did it that way. She was very careful about even small details. And when she gave me the glass, she held it with a clean napkin, just hospital sanitary. That is, along with the glass of water, she also held a napkin, and she is being very clean. She is maintaining the standards which they keep in the hospital. She must be a lot of trouble to herself. Did she agree to come with us right off? Right off means immediately. You suggested going to Murphy Park. Did Mrs. Sacro agree immediately? Well, not right off, not immediately. She called to her husband about what the weather forecast was, and he said that the newspapers all said that it would be fair tomorrow, but that he was waiting for the latest report on the radio. The weather would be very fine, the weather would be very good, a nice sunny day with the sun shining, and he said he will look into the latest weather report to make sure. So notice their obsession with the weather and also with water. All the newspapers said so. All the newspapers in the forecast was tomorrow will be a bright, good day. Of course, they'll all just print the official weather forecast. But I think they do subscribe to all the newspapers. At least I have watched the bundle the newsboy leaves. Now here also there is something strange. Lillian is saying that the Sacro family buys all the newspapers because she sees the newspaper boy coming to their house with a very big bundle in his hand. So they might be subscribing to all newspapers. They might be buying all the newspapers in that area. There isn't much you miss, is there? So George is saying that Lillian, his wife, is very carefully observes everything about the Sacro family. There isn't much you miss, is there? You know everything about them. Already you know everything. Even though you have not spoken much with Mrs. Sacro, still you know everything about them now. You seem to have observed everything about them. Anyway, said Lillian, she called up the weather bureau and had them tell her the latest. And she called it out to her husband and they said they would go. So they confirmed. Before accepting the invitation to go to Murphy's Park, both Mr. and Mrs. Sacro confirmed at various agencies, weather reports, newspapers, radio, that tomorrow would be a fair day, meaning tomorrow would be a bright day without any rain. Anyway, said Lillian, she called up the weather bureau and had them tell her the latest. And she called it out to her husband and they said they will go. They decided to go to the park. Except they said they'd phone us if there were any unexpected changes in the weather. If there is any unexpected change, if the weather is not fair, if it was going to rain, they will change their minds. They will not go to Murphy's Park. Alright, then we'll go. The Sacros were young and pleasant, dark and handsome. Sacros, there the family. They were young, they were pleasant, very cheerful, they were dark, they looked dark, dark complexion, and they were good looking. As they came out, the long walk from their home to where the Wright's automobile is, their car was parked, Lillian asked, "Is that a handbag he is carrying?" "Pocket radio. To listen to weather forecast, I bet." Again, obsession with the weather. Even when they are going to the park, they have a pocket radio in order to listen to the weather. If there is any change in the weather forecast. Forecast is to tell something, foretell, to tell something ahead before it happened. The Sacro boy came running after them, waving something which turned out to be an aneroid barometer, and all three got into the back seat. So he is also having something to inform them about the weather. Conversation was turned on and lasted with neat give and take. Give and take means both families talked to each other on impersonal subjects to Murphy's Park. On the way to the Murphy's Park, they talked about many things, not about their personal things, but about many other things. The Sacro boy was so polite and reasonable that even Tommy Wright, sitting between his parents in the front seat, was quieter than usual. Lillian couldn't recall when she had spent so pleasant a drive. So the children were very well behaved, they were very polite, and Mrs. Sacro thought that this was the first time that they had such a pleasant journey. She was not the least disturbed by the fact that barely to be heard under the flow of conversation, Mr. Sacro's small radio was on. The pocket radio which Mr. Sacro carried was to inform him about the more up-to-date details about the weather. He carried. It was on, but that did not disturb the conversation. So Mr. Sacro is very much interested in the weather. It was a beautiful day at Murphy's Park with a cheerfully bright sun in a blue sky. 2 times the word blue is repeated to stress the fact, to emphasize the fact that there is no sign of cloud at all. It was an absolutely blue sky. Even Mr. Sacro, though he inspected every quarter of the heavens with a careful eye and then stared piercingly at the barometer, seemed to have no fault to find. Mr. Sacro looked at the sky very closely, observed the sky very cleanly, then again he looked at the barometer. Piercingly means very keenly he observed it, very sharply he observed it, very carefully he observed the barometer, and he was satisfied that there will be no rain on that day. Lillian took the 2 boys to the amusement section. bought enough tickets to allow one ride for each, one every thrill that the park offered. So you have to buy tickets for the various amusement rides. I think you would have, most of you would have visited Vegaland. You have so many rides there, but in some places at the entrance itself you pay the ticket and it will be possible for you to go on all the rides. So here they have to pay for each ride, for each amusement equipment that is placed there. Lillian took the two boys to the amusement section and brought enough tickets to allow one ride for each one in every thrill that the park offered. Please, she said to a protesting Mrs. Sacro, let this be my treat. Mrs. Sacro offered money to buy some tickets for some rides, but Mrs. Wright said that this is going to be her treat. She is going to treat them and she is going to spend all the money. I'll let you have your turn next time. The next time when we go for a visit, Mrs. Sacro can do all the spending. When she returned, George was alone. Where she began? Just down there at the refreshment stand. They had all gone to the refreshment stall. I told them, I'd wait here for you and we joined them. So George decided to remain there while the others went again to the refreshment stall. He sounded gloomy. I think he must be independently wealthy. George is a bit disappointed or sad because he thinks that Mr. Sacro is an extremely wealthy man. What? I don't know what he does for a living, I hinted. Now who is square? Now the husband is asking the wife, I wonder what he is doing for a living. I wonder what his work is. I wonder what his profession is. In the beginning of the story, Lillian wanted to know what he is doing, what Mr. Sacro is doing. Now who is curious? So Lillian is replying, who is curious, who is inquisitive, who is interested in knowing what the other family does. I was doing it for you. I asked this question because you wanted to know. He said he is just a student of human nature. How philosophical. That would explain all those newspapers. So he studies human nature. He is a person who is interested in human nature. That is the reason why they buy all those newspapers. Yes, but with a handsome, wealthy man next door, it looks as though I will have impossible standards set for me too. This is George speaking, and he thinks that Lillian would want him to imitate everything that Mr. Sacro is doing and to be like Mr. Sacro, to be as wealthy, to be as handsome. So that will be an impossible thing for him. So that is the reference to impossible standards here. Don't be silly.